Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and hop right in. Hey Nikki, I have been sick with an illness, officially almost a year, but been struggling with it for about 5, and I feel very disconnected from the world. I've been a fan of YouTube for a long time, but it's only been since I've been sick that I watch every day without fail. I can't really do things that involve me exerting myself in the simplest of ways, like standing for long periods of time, being in the heat, migraines, and there's not really a moment that I don't have pain because of this illness. And what really bothers me is that it's so rare that most doctors don't even care. So how can I expect my friends to, and some of my family members? I can't go to school, but I'm trying to give myself purpose, like studying for a technical certification. And my husband is super supportive and truly understands the pain I live with every day. I have a support group, which is helpful, but I still feel isolated from normal life. So, do you have any suggestions? Because I am getting more socially insecure as the months pass by. Thanks. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is I want to preface this by saying that I am not going to pretend to know what it's like to be sick for 5 years. That's a lot to handle, but the thing that I can semi-relate to you on is I've spoke about it before. I did a video actually that I'm going to link on my main channel talking about a sickness that my sister and I struggled with. Long story short, which if you want to hear like more of the story, you can go over and watch that, was that my sister got diagnosed with an illness that doctors couldn't diagnose, and about 3 months after her, I was diagnosed with we were diagnosed with them, they couldn't diagnose. No, we both had the same thing. About 3 months later, I got the same sickness that she had, and doctors couldn't tell us what it was, and they told us that because they didn't know what it was, we were just gonna have it forever, and we'd have to deal with it and take pain management classes. My sister was sick for a year, and I was sick for 8 months, and I totally know what you mean. Because we couldn't put a name on it, people almost didn't believe us, and they would ask us if it was in our head and maybe we were making it up, and that was really, really hard to deal with, and I definitely slipped into some mild depression, and I was sleeping all the time, or my sister was sleeping all day. I couldn't sleep, but my brain was so foggy I couldn't really focus on anything. It was really, really hard. So I know how you feel in that sense because I remember it very vividly. I'm going to give you suggestions, but it is hard because, like I said, it's easier to suggest than do. But I'm going to give you my suggestions. My first suggestion is you were on the right path, I can tell by the end of the email, in terms of finding something that can give you purpose. That's going to take discipline, because when you feel like crap, it's very, very, very hard to move forward and find purpose and feel good because you feel like crap. So that's going to take a lot of discipline on your part. But finding something that gives you purpose. Is there something that you like to do in terms of, like, do you like creating art or doing jewelry or writing books or something like that? And try to tackle a project. So let's say, I'm making this up out of thin air, you were someone that maybe really liked to write. Maybe you decide, you know what, I'm going to set a goal for this year, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to do it. And delve into that project and find out what that involves. And figure out not just writing a book, but the end step of writing a book. Like, okay, when I write a book, I want to put it out. I want to, whether it gets published or I want it on the internet where people can buy it, and start figuring out, like, how am I going to market this when this is done? What kind of, like, how can I get this on a bigger scale? Are there ways that I can maybe start working social media to try to, like, have a platform for my book when it's done, a place to really push that when it's out? Am I going to start figuring out ways to, on the internet, make contacts and friends with people, like publication, like houses or whatever they're called? Figure out ways to get yourself pumped about some kind of project or something that you're working on. Or if you are in school for this technical degree, which I'm not quite sure, bless my heart, I don't know what that means. But whatever it is, what is the step after school? And what are the steps that you can take from home to complete and move forward in that field, if that makes sense? And getting yourself pumped with a longer term thing. And looking at where you want to be and how you can get there. You know, or if you're someone that wants to make jewelry, like, you could think like, okay, I want to start designing these pieces, and not just making jewelry, but having an end thing. Like, I want to design jewelry and eventually sell it. So how should I start designing a website? Who do I know that can help me design a website? Or do I want to learn how to design my own website? Getting on lynda.com or YouTube tutorials and learning how to design a website that can be an amazing platform for the jewelry you're making. Or yeah, just taking it to another scale and giving yourself something that that makes you feel like you have purpose. I think people confuse just doing something with having purpose. I struggle with this too, like, oh, well, I am studying for school, so I guess, but then they find themselves not feeling like they have a purpose. And I think it's because there's that other link missing of like, okay, not just moving forward, that's a good step, but moving forward with a purpose, and a purpose being like an end thing in mind. Like not just, oh, I am getting this degree in art. I always use art, like artistic stuff, as examples, but that's because I know more about artistic stuff than I do technical stuff, and you know what I mean? I sound really stupid right now, but you know what I mean? So like, if you're someone that's in school for art, rather than just, oh, well, I am taking my classes and moving forward in an art degree, it's like, okay, once I have that art degree, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna try to sell my paintings and my art? Or am I just like, or what am I gonna do? And then while you're in school, starting to set that platform up for selling your art, if that makes sense. So having an actual end thing in mind, not just moving forward, but having a purpose and an end thing in mind really helps with feeling purposeful. And I mean, that's what having a purpose is. It's not just moving forward. So I really hope that this was semi-helpful and not discouraging, because I also know it can be really discouraging when you're sick or you have a problem, like on a baby exam. I mean, I had that whole sickness thing too, but like acne, like when everyone is giving you acne suggestions, you're like, shut up. So I hope I was helpful and encouraging and not like really discouraging or annoying. So yeah. And then to anyone else out there listening, I hope I could give you motivation, get you pumped up for something. Everyone should get excited. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things that you thanked God for today? Which I thought was really interesting, because I was like, dude, I'd have like nothing, because I definitely wouldn't win the award for being the most grateful person on the planet. Like I'm not